my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my live quilting chat, Tipsy Tuesday on a Monday. Hi everybody, thank you for being with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, hit those thumbs up and hearts. We love to see them if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Of course, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well, or like our page on Facebook. It's great to be with you here on a Monday. We're a day early, but we're not going to let that deter us, even though we might be a little tired from a busy day yesterday. So today we're going to check out some more quilts from my new book. We're going to kind of recap our busy day yesterday, our quilt along, and I've got lots of great fabrics to show you. So make sure you keep commenting throughout the show. We have a giveaway every show. We have one live winner that gets chosen randomly from all your comments. And then we have a giveaway question at the end of the show, so stick around all the way to the end. We see somebody trying to settle in on the set right there. He doesn't quite know what he's doing, where he's going, Kobe. What are you doing? Say hi to Kobe, everybody. And then, of course, we got Mr. HP running the show.
Hi, everybody.
Kobe, you just want to be on camera right now?
Don't look at me.
Want to be on camera? What's going on? He's kind of confused. What is happening? Messing up my nap time. All right, so let's start by announcing our winner from last week's Tipsy Tuesday show. Then I asked you, what is your favorite wine? Because we were playing with wine fabric that day. And our winner is Teresa Davison. Congratulations. She said, hard choice, probably a sparkling wine like a Prosecco. Oh, we had a little bit of Prosecco yesterday during our quilt along throughout the day. Everybody, it was such a great day. Thank you for being with us. Those of you who were sewing with us yesterday, it was such a smooth sail, and all our feedback that we've been hearing from you is phenomenal to hear. So great to hear all that. Let's check out real quickly what is on the set. We have some Elvira 2 quilts that we're going to talk about a little bit later. And then we have some Halloween quilts on the set. I'm going to talk about them later. We have one Kimberly 2.0 there that you probably saw yesterday if you were part of the quilt along. But we will kind of talk about these a little later. I'm going to tell you all about them, show you better photos. The quilt behind Mr. HP was there yesterday too. I kind of got that one done in the nick of time. This is my strip tease from the strip along earlier this year. There it is. And got it quilted and bound just in time for the next quilt along. And now I got 3 more quilts in the process. But of course, a busy weekend. We were prepping Saturday, spent all day here in the studio at GE. It was kind of fun, lonely. Got really hot in the studio because the lights are really hot. So as the day went on, yeah, it got pretty hot in here. But it was really great. It was a good thing you couldn't see how much we were sweating. So the warehouse is busy too. It's kind of getting to this transition time. I'm sure some of you that have kids at home, you know, schools are starting. The college kids that we have working for us are starting to transition out. They're moving into their dorms and maybe coming back and work a few days. So we have new people transitioning in, which is always great to see. They are working on Color Club right now, which will go out on Friday. So just wanted to remind you of that. It's already here. We're already in August. So got to wait till Friday for that package. It's August 1st. Yes, it's August 1st. Wow. Anyways, there are still a few openings for a Color Club subscription. So if you haven't signed up for one and been waiting, there's a few spots still left. And if you do sign up before Friday, you will get the Red Rock pack as well. You will get that right away, and then you will get our newest one. So just wanted to mention that because I know a lot of you have been waiting a long time for that. So I wanted to talk about, let's talk about the quilts behind me. Has everybody recovered from yesterday, by the way? Have you
Yeah.
recovered fully?
Well,
I've been like, my brain has been a little foggy today. I have to
bit.
admit, I was up early too. We were in bed pretty early too. We were
Yeah.
kind of pooped out. But I hope you have recovered and had a good time yesterday. Tell us in the comments. So I know some of you are already telling me that some people are binding their quilts already, their Kimberlys. Some are still sewing. Some are just trimming. All kinds of things. That's great. So let's talk about our quilts. So we're going to talk about the Elvira quilts a little bit later. That's one of the quilts in the new book. But I wanted to specifically talk about this Halloween quilt. We got this line in, and I'm going to be showing you the line later. But I wanted to utilize this large panel. And so I've gotten a lot of questions. How do you calculate using a large panel and then with blocks and such things? So let me just show you what the quilt looks like. We did Emma blocks around the outside, so we had the bundle, but then we also are selling the panel separately. So it's a really nice quilt. You could just add more blocks on the outside. But I wanted to kind of go through how you would, do the calculations to figure out how to what blocks to use, or how to do the calculations. How do we need to add a border? And it's pretty simple process. So let me just take you through that. I have this panel, so it's always a little bit different when you have one large panel because you don't have that large of a block to just put around it. And it's sometimes more fun to put some blocks with it instead of just borders and borders and borders to make a quilt out of it. So this one is actually the whole thing is just whole width of fabric is the panel. So from the selvage to selvage, and they can differ a little bit. Sometimes there's more space on the ends, and then depending on how much space you also have on the edges. So what you want to start with is take your panel and measure it, how big you could have it, and I'm talking about finished size. So you want to measure, for example, I want to measure from about here to the bottom because that's going to be my finished size. And then you want to measure where would I want it to cut out on the sides, and you want to have enough room for a seam allowance. So that's what you want to measure. So let's play with this one and say it would be about 21 by, let's see, here's the center. So by about, 43. 43, 44. 43 or 44 would be the measurement. So then you want to figure out what kind of blocks do I want to use with this. And I have a sheet on our website under bonus charts and templates. I actually printed one out, but I left it in my office. So it actually is a chart. It's called blocks with panels or something. Quilting with panels or something like that. But it has a chart of a lot of my patterns with the block sizes, the finished block sizes of those blocks. Those are all blocks that work well with mixing panels into it. So that's a great one to have and print out and just look at it. So for example, the Emma block finishes at 8 inches, and we always want to talk about finished size. And so if we are going to start with the sides, we want to think about, okay, so 5 8-inch blocks will give me 40. But if this panel is larger, so it's like 43, I might need to add enough to have 6 blocks. So 6 times 8 is 48. So I need to make the panel 48 inches long. Does that make sense? So 48 inches long to get 6 on each side. So that means I need to add a little bit to the top and bottom of the 43 inches. So I measured 43, maybe 44. So maybe I'll just have to add 4 inches. So we're always talking about finished sizes. So if my panel length is going to be 44 inches finished, that means I need to add 2 inches to the top and 2 inches to the bottom to get 48. You with me still? So then, to figure out how to cut, you add the seam allowance afterwards. So every time you're making measurements, you want to always do it with finished sizes, both of the blocks and of the panels and borders, border widths. So same thing, we talked about 21 inches on the width. So we have to calculate how many blocks go on the width. So so we say 4 times 8, that's 32, that's too much. 3 times 8 is 24. So I needed to be 24. So I have 21, that means I need 3 more inches. That means 1.5 inches on each side. Does that make sense? Will give me 24 by 48. So then when I'm ready to cut my strips for the borders, I need 1.5 inches on each side. That means I add 1/2 inch for my seam allowances. So that I would cut 2 inches. And for the top and bottom, I need 2 inches on both sides. I add 1/2 inch. That's a 2.5 inch strips on the top and bottom. All right? That means I could have 6 blocks on the side, 3 on the top, and 3 on the bottom. And of course, then we are adding the corners. So that's really 5 and 5. It will be a really nice symmetrical quilt. I know this was probably a lot of numbers and really, really fast.
Easy, easy.
How many of you are confused? But always the key tip is when you're doing calculations, always do the finished size and don't add in the seam allowances until you're ready to cut the pieces. Okay?
And write it down.
And keep writing it down. All right. So that was the key. So we did Emma blocks, and it turned out beautiful with this one. So I will show you the rest of this fabric. This is called Ghostly Greetings. Really, really cute, from Moda. And so I'll show you that at the end of the show. All right, so some are freaking out because they're bad at math. That's okay. If you write it down, just measure your panel, write it all down. Even you can draw it up on a graph paper, which always help the visual. Draw it up, and then, you know, it's pretty easy math. And as long as you just remember, use just the finished sizes of everything.
Is that glow in the dark?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so. It's not a glow in the dark. All right. So I hope you get brave and play with that way. We did put a panel on the back of the quilt too, and I'm going to talk about that at another time, how you can add those big panels and have them centered on your backs. That's another math class, but it's fairly easy as well. So I'm going to take you through that in a whole class because I want to show you some more of our piece backs when we've used those panels on the backs, which is really, really fun. All right, let's talk about the Elvira quilts over there on the wall. So every day that passes, we're getting closer and closer to the Stripology Mixology 3 book coming out, but we still gotta hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. So let's check out one more quilt. So this is Elvira 2. So you may remember way back in 2020 in March, our first ever full day quilt along. We did an Elvira quilt. So this, I call her Elvira 2. So she is a more petite version of the original. The blocks are smaller, and because they are smaller, I decided to use a focus print for all the diagonal parallelograms for this one. It just created a much better contrast. It also creates kind of a continuity through the whole quilt, ties it out, especially when you use the same fabric for the binding. So Elvira 2 uses 10-inch squares. But you could actually start with 5 by 10-inch rectangles. So if you are working with fabrics that are not directional, you can get a lot out of our half-yard bundles. So you could get 12 blocks out of a half-yard bundle versus just 8. I actually got 2 quilts out of my bundle. I cut my 10-inch squares for Elvira, and then I cut a 5-inch strip and a 2.5-inch strip from that same bundle, and I used that for my Ingrid. As you can see, they're in that photo, they're together. They look so good together, and they look so good with my teal chair. They just look perfect. But it's just a great way, since you start right away by cutting your 10-inch squares in half to a 5x10, then you can really get so much out of a bundle. For example, you could cut 10-inch squares and use that for another quilt like Kimberly, and then you can cut another 5-inch strip and cut 5x10-inch rectangles and make an Elvira. So very, very flexible and versatile. I love the quilting on the Elvira. I don't know if you can see it up close. It's called Fusion. And then that accent fabric is just a black fabric, which tied really nicely out to the binding. So then we made another one out of the Mystery Manor. One of our testers did that. Connie did that one. So I took the Mystery Manor Halloween bundle. I think it's a perfect Halloween, well, it's like a perfect pattern for a Halloween, especially called Elvira. So this one, I added a few oranges just to get a little more orange in it to balance it. So I think I added like a seed, couple of 1 yards. Didn't use it all. And then we used this white fabric that is has spider webs on it for the accent. And in this case, I didn't use the same for binding. I wanted to do the diagonal black and orange and white stripe, which looks awesome on the binding. The quilting pattern on this one is called After Hours, and I found that at Urban Elements. I love, love, love this quilt, how it turned out. So then we have 2 more that were made by our testers. The Elvira 2, made by Connie. She used animal crackers and a black accent color, which I think is so sharp on all those animal crackers fabrics. And then Sue made another one, and she used the Silent Sports bundle and then got some purple for the accent and added it in the border as well. I think that's really cool. So easy one to add a border to. It looks really nicely with a border. So it's pretty versatile. It goes really fast. It's a great quilt to throw together for a baby. Actually, my prototype quilt was a baby quilt that I gave away to a little guy that was born a while back, little Jabu. Yeah, a little nephew. So that one definitely is one of those that you'll be repeat and repeat and repeat. All right, so let's talk about our quilt along. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. We had a lot of folks quilting with us. I couldn't keep a count on how many were watching us live, but a lot of you were catching up later. And so I think people are still watching and people are still joining in. So if you missed it for some reason, anything about it, so the Kimberly pattern, you can get 2 ways. One, by pre-ordering our Stripology Mixology 3 book, either in a paper format or the ebook, or you can purchase the Kimberly pattern on its own, which is a PDF download. And then you will find all of the videos, the 4 parts 1 through 4. Best way to find everything is just go to our blog, gquiltdesigns.com, find the blog, and then find the Kimberly Quilt Along blog post. I have put the videos there. You'll also find them on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, but it's really easy just to go to the blog and click on it right from there to watch the videos again. So if you haven't yet and need to rewatch something, you can watch it again and again. So if you haven't started, you can still join us. It's so much fun. So I got some progress on my 3 Kimberlys. So let me show you how much I got done. Not so much on my Kimberly 1.0, but it's coming together. So this is made from my hedgerow fabrics. I added some more of that rust color, the Red Rocks color, and some more gold. So obviously I didn't use many of the rusts yet, so I have still a lot to sew, about half because I'm making a twin size. Then for my 2.0, I got almost all of my blocks done. I have them laid out. I'm using the Snow-Kissed bundle. It is really cute. It's wintry, not really Christmassy. I think you can kind of have it hang around through winter. And so I'm doing the second layout version, and I really love the movement and action, how it kind of creates pinwheels in the every other corner, and I really love that. So then my 3.0 is about 2/3, a little less, maybe about a little over half done. So this is using To the Sea bundle, and I'm using all the blues, lights and darks for my darks, and then all the ivories and the light browns for, those are my lights. So I'm kind of trying to create a little secondary pattern. Do you see the little zigzag going on with the brown lines? I'm hoping that that'll work out doing it that way. I think it'll be really cool to create a little secondary dimension to the quilt. So that was my progress. Obviously, I had a lot of other things to do, so didn't get them all done, but I'm not worried. They're so quick and they'll get done pretty fast. So let's take a look at all of what you got done this weekend. We put together a slideshow for you, so let's check out your progress from yesterday, only from yesterday. I think it's amazing, so let's look at it. Well, you may have noticed if you joined us yesterday that this was the slideshow that we played for you during the finale, during our part 4 of the Quiltalog. But there's been more progress since then. So we made another slideshow with more blocks, some tops put together. So let's check out this other one. I know you love looking at quilts, so let's see some more Kimberly's. such an amazing job. And I know there's lots of you that haven't gotten there yet, haven't finished it, but just so you know, like we always do, a little bit later, we give you a few weeks and we'll do another Kimberly slideshow. And if you are not on Facebook and not in our Good Riddance Quilt Crew group, you can always email your photo to help@gequiltdesigns.com and we can include it in our next slideshow. So again, thank all of you for participating yesterday. It was a lovely, lovely day. And I hope by making this quilt, seeing how easy it was and all the things that you can play with, you're excited to play with more of the quilt in the book, right? I hope so. I know every single fabric that comes through the door here, I start thinking which of these quilts from the book would work with that fabric. So it's always fun. All right, so any questions from anything regarding the quilt along or the videos, anything like that? You see any questions, Mr. HB? Yes, they loved the day. Yeah, that's awesome. It flew by. I agree. We shortened it a little bit by just having 4 sessions because it was such a simple pattern. And I think that was good. So we started a little bit later, which made it easier for people all over the country to participate. And we ended earlier, so we're not cutting into people's dinner time on a Sunday. But it worked out great. Some folks were able to still go to church and catch us after. And so we'll switch it up. We won't always do Sundays, but this worked out really, really nice, I thought. All right.
Great. Awesome.
So let's, one more thing before we kick into some fabric. The tent sale, I got a question earlier about the tent sale. Can you still sign up? Of course, there's no limit to the tent sale. We just want to know how many people we need to be ready for. So it's been amazing. The sign up is through the roof, and we are preparing a nice, large, kind of a digital brochure that we will share with you later this week. It has all the information, the little schedule, which is not really a schedule. But so you'll know what's going on. You will see what food trucks will be there. You can prep. And also, if you're coming from afar, we'll have some hotel information, some other things to do in the area, like restaurants, breweries, wineries, distilleries, some things, maybe, information on the state fair. We got a great arboretum right by us. Some fun things to do. For example, if you take your significant other with and they are not interested in searching through fabric, there's stuff for them to do. So we're gonna send that out here by the end of the week in our newsletter, and we'll share it with you on our next show later this week. But we are looking for volunteers. We still have a few spots left for volunteers. If you want to come and help us out, we're setting it up as 2 3-hour shifts, so not too bad. One would be 9 to 12, and then 12 to 3. So it would be really great if you're in the area and want to help us out to send an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com if you want to be one of our volunteers. You get a really cool shirt that says staff. Easy staff. All right, so let's take a look at some of these beautiful bundles. I'm going to start with the Ghostly Greetings because I showed you the panel already. So I'm going to start with this one. We'll start here on the light side of the bundle. So it's a mixture of kind of classic Halloween. This is by Deb Strain. Always love her artwork. So this main print here has the pumpkins and bats and some spider web, a little skull and an owl and a crow. Love this one. And then a great little typography print with little spiders. And then we have Mr. Bones on a little bit taupe background, a little bit darker. Love that. Kind of like he's dancing. Then we have a bat going into some orange. We have the bat in the sky, which creates kind of a directional stripe. Super cool. I love this kind of bright orange. We have Mr. Bones again with his top hat in the orange. We have a little scroll with spiders, black on orange. And then we have a couple of light grays with pumpkins. And then the typography print from before on this gray background, and then the main print on the gray background. So same one. And then we go into some black. So we have pumpkins on a black background. Have the scroll black and white with the spiders, and then the main print on the black with the spider web shows up really nicely. So this is the 12-piece bundle, Ghostly Greetings, and we do have one of those prints in 1 yard, Ghostly Greetings, the bone white, which would be great for backings or borders or things. And then, of course, we have the panel, the Happy Halloween panel that we used in the quilt before, which is a full width panel. We talked about how big it was. Great for like a door banner if you want to just quilt it and put a binding on it. Great door banner. I love the just little scripts. The little writing. Once upon a midnight, very while I pondered, weak and weary over. I can't barely read it. It's too long to read it all. But so panel is sold separately, and then I did a little fabric pull with it. Just a little one. Starting with the lights, going a little bit creamier to kind of mix in with this darker one. The spotted ivory and the grunge cream work great. Then for some orange, dimples and the persimmon and the grunge and the russet orange are great matches. For the light grays, moonscape shadow, and then the pebbled path and the flint set up perfectly. And then I got a couple of blacks, one that has some white in it, the spotted and the celestial onyx, and then a really nice chalk and charcoal in the black, which has a perfect tone to the panel background as well. I found I found a plaid, and that's the Regions Beyond in the orange, would be great as a plaid. And then that beautiful diagonal stripe, the Halloween Midnight. This is what I used for the binding on the Elvira Halloween quilt. So this is Ghostly Greetings. Really nice, really nice Halloween, classic Halloween colors, and beautiful depth strain artwork, as always. She is always a favorite for those holiday lines. Just does a phenomenal job on those. All right, so the next line is not Halloween, but it is fall. And this one is called Awesome Autumn. So Awesome Autumn is made by a dear friend, Sandy Gervais, a well-known fabric designer. So she's designing for Riley Blake these days. Awesome Autumn, and her fall lines are kind of above and beyond anybody's, I always think. I used to collect her fall lines because her sense of color and print are just gorgeous. So I love this main print. The background is not a black. It's a really kind of a brown hue to it. So it just adds that warmth. And we have the cute pumpkins on that same background. And then beautiful fall leaves. I love the scale of this one. Then we go into her beautiful green. So this olive green with the acorns. We have the small leaves, oak leaves on that green, and then the large print in that olive green. Oh, just love that. I love the addition of this little peach in there. Just makes it really nice and fresh. So then we have some bright gold. I love the stripe. Bright gold. Again, really rich. We have a really nice small print, just a tad darker. Love that there's a shade difference. And then these cute little acorns. We have, this is a larger bundle because I could not stop. I love my fall collections, so I have a hard time eliminating anything. So then we go into the orange. We have the pumpkins, the white pumpkins on the orange, the small print, and then the acorns. And the last color is this rich red. We have the stripe and the small print, and then this beautiful polka dot with all the other colors, the gold, the orange, and the green in it. So this finishes this out, a 15-piece line. It does have pretty much like 3 of each, so it's nicely balanced. And then you can get both the raisin color, they call it raisin, that brownish, kind of brownish black, and the green, the olive, main prints in 1 yards. Plus, I added the cream, which would be beautiful for bigger pieces, backings, and things like that. For a pull, let's start with the darks. Grunge Espresso is really a great mix for this. It's got this really dark brown. A lighter brown would be the Dimples and the Cafe Noir. And then we have the olive. This is perfect, the chalk and charcoal and the olive. For the gold, I love this one, the spotted and the frisky, because it has a little bit of orange that ties in with the oranges. We have grunge pumpkin, perfect match with this beautiful orange. And then the reds, the canvas and the hot sauce is that perfect rich red. As far as having a background color, I would stay pretty creamy on the background if I was picking a background for this bundle. So somewhere close to this. So the nature elements and the natural, I love this one because it also has leaves. So it just fits in really, really, really great. I did add a light brown because there is a light brown kind of mixed in here and there. So this is Deco Stitch in the Timberwolf. So it has, you can use it as an accent, you can mix it in. And then 2 plaids, actually from last year's line, from her, the plaid and the persimmon would work great. Same color story. And then also the diagonal plaid and the pumpkin harvest would be amazing as well with those beautiful green, olive greens and orange in there. So this is Awesome Autumn by Sandy Gervais. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And like I said, I've been collecting these, so this is coming home with me for my collection for sure. I love these fall colors. All right, so one more bundle for you today, this one being Christmas. Another Moda line that is called Holly Berry Tree Farm. And this is another depth strain line. Beautiful color, very classic, similar to her last year's line, but I love the colorway, so typical black, red, and green in here. So we'll start with the trees, since it is the tree farm. So I love these trees, especially the plaid bucket that they're in. And then we have cardinals on the black. And we have red trucks with the tree in the back, 2 trees in the back. So getting into that red, I threw in the buffalo plaid into the bundle because it's always fun to have a little plaid with a bundle. Some great poinsettias on a black background with brown pine cones. We have a typography print here, some warm winter wishes, this is season, happiest of holidays. And then that little holly leaf in there just makes it super cute. We have a snowflake print, white snowflakes, and then again the trees now on the red background and with a black plaid bucket. Oh, love it. So we have the green background with the poinsettias and the pine cones. A deeper green with just the pine cones and some holly berries. We have a nice small print here on this gridded background, and then finishing it off with another green, the cardinals on the green. So we have some greens, we have some blacks, and some reds, pretty evenly split. We have some extras from the same line that you can get in 1 yards, and that would be the buffalo plaid in the red, and then also in a green, and then in the black and white. So the buffalo plaids are available in 1 yards, and then there is a print that is this really nice creamy background. It is the snowflakes. It's hard to see because it's white on white or white on cream. So we have that both in 1 yard and in a 3-yard cut as well if you wanted a bigger cut or a bigger background. I think that would be beautiful. There is a panel that comes with this line that is really, really cute. So it has some smaller kind of icons. So it's this really large one in the middle. So this is the width of fabric going this way. So this one is about 21 inches, I would say, by maybe 16 or something like that. Holly Berry Tree from Happiest of Holidays. And then small ones are Warm Winter Wishes with the mittens and Holly Berry Tree Farm. And then we have the truck and Tis the Season over here. So these are about, I would say, you can cut them into about 9 inches. There's a lot of space to kind of adjust that size. So very cute. Using that center, you could use that as a wall or a door banner, and then do something else with the small ones, like a little trivets, or include it in a table runner. So let's check out my fabric pull for starting in the black section. Spectre Static Black. I love the white specks in it because it reminds me of snowfall. And then the dimples in the charcoal would work great, both of those. For the reds, chalkboard texture in the red has all the different shades of red. And then the chalk and charcoal in the cardinal. Really great reds here. For the greens, grunge and the pine works really well for that middle color. And then I have a deep dark green, the chalk and charcoal in the hunter, and then a light one, the spotted in the celadon. Kind of bridges all the greens. And some more, if you want it a little bit whiter than the creamy one, you could go white on white snowflake, or there's also a kind of a white on white, it's called Starry Night. That would be great. If you wanted a diagonal plaid, we have a smaller buffalo plaid in both the red and the black and white. So you could use either one of those if you wanted something that's already on the diagonal and a little bit smaller scale than the large ones. I did include one more color because if you needed an accent that's not in the bundle, this is the perfect choice, the canvas buckskin, because it's the color of all the pine cones that are throughout the prints. So I think it would stand out nicely without overpowering anything, and will look great with everything else. So this is Holly Berry Tree Farm. Love, love, love this one. Very classic Christmas. Classic colors with the red and green, and then throwing that black in there just makes it a little bit more modern and whimsical as well with all the buffalo plaids. So on trend. So love these. So that's our fabrics for today. Now, I hope you've been good about commenting, because we're going to pick a live winner. And Mr. HP, that's his job. Do you have a winner for us?
See what we got.
Live winner for today's show, Diane Theodorsky. Congratulations, Diane. Just send us an email to help@quiltdesigns.com, and you will get your gift card right away to go shopping. And of course, you all have another chance to win by just answering this next question. We will announce the winner from the question that all you do is just answer it in the comments, and you can do that whether you're watching us live or later on. The winner will be pulled and announced next week on our Tipsy Tuesday show, which will be on a Tuesday. So here's my question. if you won the lottery, what is the first thing he would do with the money? Ooh, there better be some sewing machines or, sewing tables or long arms or whatever else in those answers.
That's what I would
Dream.
do.
That's what you would do?
Yeah.
Get yourself a new sewing machine?
Give me a new long arm.
Oh, yay! What a great man he is. Another Gertie. Gertie needs a sister. She's so busy all the time. All right, so let us know in the comments just for fun, and we'll randomly pick a winner. So our next Tipsy Tuesday show will actually be on a Tuesday. That's going to be August 9th, and I will be zoomed in live from Iceland. From my tour, I will be joining you and everybody else in the studio to do the August 9th show, 4 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Central Time. It's kind of perfect because it's going to be 9 p.m. in Iceland. Not too late, which is way better than what it used to be. And then we will be live later on this week, not on a Friday. It's going to be a happy Thursday this time, August 4th, because I got to hop on a plane later on. So 12 p.m. is going to be our happy Thursday show. And if you remember in the quilt along, I gave you a little sneak preview of something. We'll be talking more about that and some other cool things. So make sure you check out our show on Thursday, 12 p.m. Central. I'll be here. All of us. So thank you all for watching tonight, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye, everybody.